Well, hello, everyone. Today we're at the BBB office, and we have the podcast called Sharing. And we're at the Ignite Sparked by BBB podcast studio. And I have a special guest here today, an old friend and a business partner in many ways, an accredited business. And I'll let you introduce yourself, Rumy.
Hey, good morning. My name is Rumy Mohta. I'm the president of a locally owned, accredited A+ by the Better Business Bureau company called Atlas Ventures. And we have been here. It's a small women and minority-owned boutique firm, and we provide online and contact center services.
Very good. So tell me about your background. You are in Rico, Chesterfield. Where do you live?
I live in Chesterfield County and have been in Richmond almost 39 years.
Yeah. And you have a big network. A lot of people know Rumy. I ask a lot of people, you know Rumy Mohta? Yes, we do. And so tell me, you got some family. You've done different industries over the years. What's your favorite industry that you've done?
Marketing.
Marketing.
You get to meet a lot more people around the world, and you get to see the world too while doing the marketing.
Yeah, you're an international guy, way more than I am. But you've done. Talk about some of the businesses you do now, or that you've done in the past, that have gotten you a footprint everywhere. I mean, everybody knows you.
Well, originally, I actually came here as a student and did my master's in analytical chemistry.
Wow.
And from there, I did work for multiple chemical firms as well as bio firms, being an analytical chemist. And then I decided that when my boys were born, I want to move into my own businesses. So I started with a small business, went into trading, had an IT company which I sold off, and now into totally marketing. 2 or 3 of my mentors actually said that my main forte is marketing since I know so many people. I have networked with people not only in Virginia and the Commonwealth, but around the country and even a bunch of folks outside the country. Why don't I do marketing? And that's what we started doing.
Now, you know so many different people in different organizations, nonprofit, for-profit, but in different industries. You know the health industry, Chamber of Commerce's we were just talking about. You go to events with them. You network. You went to EWI, you and your wife with
Correct.
me, Executive Women's International. And you've done so many other things. So let's talk about that. Tell us the story about Rumy. Who is Rumy?
I believe it's not just my business, but I think if I network and I also network other people together, then we will have a better economy and better understanding of cultures from around the world.
And that's the interesting point. You tell me and my wife you want us to go with you. You want to get a trip together, which you do often, and to go to the Philippines. Talk about the Philippines. What would I learn there?
You will find that Philippines is not a typical Southeast Asian country. It is absolutely modernized. Think about the who's who of the U.S. companies or corporate world. Just yesterday, they went ahead and I read a report that the U.S. the U.S. Commerce Secretary is taking up from the U.S. to the Philippines, multiple multinational companies like Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Google, that is, United Airlines, and they're going to invest $1 billion in the next year in the Philippines.
That's a billion.
Billion. And then you look
Wow.
at companies like Capital One, Bank of America, everybody, they all have the contact centers in the Philippines. So why should not small and medium-sized businesses do that? This what gave us an idea and saying they cannot afford to have a footprint in the Philippines, but we could do it for them. And that's why my business is working wonderfully, because when we approach small and medium-sized businesses here in Virginia or in the United States, we can do all the work for them in the Philippines at a lower cost where people they cannot find over here.
Can we talk about our relationship that we had with your call center, with Atlas?
Absolutely.
So from experience, I took this job over in 2022, and I knew that the Better Business Bureau had to do a better job communicating with ABs, accredited businesses. The consumer, we have to hit them with SEO and marketing and stuff like that to get them to go to bbb.org. But we had a challenge. We had a list of like 9,000
Correct.
companies we needed to contact and say, hey, your Better Business Bureau would like to talk with you. And or that you're accredited and we would like to talk to you again and thank you. You did all sorts of holiday calls, everything. So talk about that call center. It was secure. All the data was secure. So talk
Exactly.
about that.
So number one, our contact center is two things: PCI DSS compliant and certified, and we are also HIPAA compliant because we have healthcare clients and non-healthcare clients. Having said that, 95% of our contact agents are women. Why women? Because they can sell better. They are also show empathy if a customer service calls are taken in, since we do both inbound and outbound calls. And then at the last minute, we want to think, we also want to empower women. We just finished celebrating the International Women's Day. So why don't we go ahead and empower women by employing more women and educate them? Our contact center agents have non-accented English. I'm pretty sure Barry can attest to it himself that I myself would not have recognized some of my agents when they do call us. On top of that, we can use auto dialers. Just in the case of BBB, as an example, we were calling 300 numbers per day per agent. That's an astounding number. You can't find contact center agents here in the United States, even if they were to use auto dialer, to call even 200 people at a time. We were making more appointments per day for different clients, not just Better Business Bureau, but even lead generation for other clients. We can prove it. We also call on a recorded line and let the customers know ahead of time that they are being recorded as per the law. We call from an 804 number or 757 number. Wherever the businesses are located, we buy that number and call on their behalf. We represent the business. And the biggest thing is we do not share our agents with other businesses.
What I learned during that time, and you talk about it, and the power people really need to understand is you were doing 300 plus calls a day in an 8-hour day. I think we were paying you $14, $15 an hour. I could not come anywhere near that in a local market for a price like that. Your quality of people, Grace and her team, they had team meetings every day,
Correct.
debriefs. They send a dashboard report that gives me more data. So my board of directors looked at it, and I said to them, because they own companies also, said this is something that you should all be looking at. And whether it's inbound calls or outbound calls, for that price range, no health benefits. You're not hiring somebody locally, but the people are going to show no matter what. They don't get stuck in traffic.
That's right.
There was somebody answering our calls or making our calls 5 days a week. And that power, the touching of all the people in our Central Virginia area was a big plus. And whether or not businesses understood that, it was a commitment. We thought that they were worth the time and money for us to say, hello, can we help you with anything?
Exactly.
And you guys did a great job.
Well, thank you, Barry. And that's the very key, that when we call with absolute conviction, meaning we are absolutely into the business that we call for, whether it is a Better Business Bureau or anybody. Our agents know what to say. The scripts can be modified a little bit. They don't read from a script. They speak from their heart. And that is how, if a client that we were to call would be not in a happy, good mood, the agents know how to handle it. If we get an inbound call, they will be, and if a client is upset in a retail market or an online retail shop, and they were to call an 800 number, but it would ring in the Philippines to our office, they would turn around and say, I didn't order this. Our agents have the power to calm them down and resolve the issue right then and there. Give a perfect example. During COVID, we had one client approach us and said, we would like you to go ahead and read the Bible to the people that will be calling in. Because during COVID, elderly stopped going to the church. We had 14 agents working for that client, and we just finished the contract in the third quarter of 2023.
Imagine
That tells you that we do accept all kinds of clients. And the part is that when we read the Bible, people were very, very happy. That touches the heart.
It's uplifting. Yeah,
It's uplifting.
It's a promise.
Absolutely.
A promise versus sitting at home and being depressed. It was a very tough area. So and the one thing you offer too is that you allowed us to listen to the calls anytime because calls are recorded. I could check anything I wanted to do that I wanted to make sure, verify, right? We always want to confirm and verify as a client. And we were never, ever backburnered. Your people were upbeat. So I encourage people to consider talking to Rumy. The first thing is don't commit to a call center. You don't even know what you're committing to. Don't commit to planning a trip with Rumy or Atlas or whatever the case, or Marge. Yeah, right. And to do all the things that you do, your knowledge in the political arena, the business arena, the family arena. You've raised a great family, your boys. The father in a family, right? We need more fathers. We know that.
That's correct.
We need fathers. We need mothers. We need families more and more. And that's what Atlas brings to the business community or locally. And you work anywhere in the country. You don't care where the client is.
Right.
So, whether it's a bank or a credit union, you can handle everything.
We can handle inbound and outbound calls. We definitely, the biggest thing is it saves money for a business here in Virginia or around the country, which in turn then they can turn around and invest it differently locally.
Yep.
Give an example, like Barry said earlier, our cost is around $14 to $15 an hour at the most for any kind of agents. Without benefits, that will save you a minimum of $10 per hour. An average customer service agent in the Virginia area gets paid $25 to $30 an hour, plus benefits and vacation and insurance.
And they don't show up.
And, well, that's true. But in our case, when you pay for an agent's hourly rate, you not only get an agent, whether it is 1 or 10 agents, you get a QA person, you get a supervisor, and a campaign manager dedicated to your project and your campaign. So it all covers in one hourly rate. And you need to listen to my agents to make a decision to say, hey, yes, I would like to go with Atlas Ventures.
That's the one thing you do. You allow people to interview you, which a lot of companies do not. You got to wait, sign a contract, and find out you made a bad decision because it's about money. That's not who you are. That's not who your company's about. Your partner, your wife. I mean, she is an intelligent woman, has a lot of passion, keeps you straight on the straight road, no doubt. But what you offer, so I think we're going to wrap this up. But I look at banks. They don't take calls 24/7, maybe, or they do. They're paying a fortune. Credit card companies, credit unions, moving companies, car dealerships, which is how we met. Right, car
That's
dealership,
correct.
and why lose a call? Everybody advertises. They spend $5,000 to $10,000 a given month on advertising. Closets, lumber yards, home improvement,
Everything.
moving company. It goes on
HVAC
and on.
companies, you name it.
Hospitals. Imagine a hospital saying the phones are down right now. Call back in the morning. Urology, cardiology. Why do I have to call back? I call the company. They've advertised. They told me to call them, and they say, sorry, we're closed. You don't have to close with you. You can have your call center over evening.
24/7.
Right, and that's the beautiful part. You adjust to the times. I used to worry that they were on Eastern time, and the girls said, no, this is like our work day. We just sleep. They're like firefighters, right?
That's correct.
And so the things you provide, I encourage people to call you. We're going to wrap it up, but give them your phone number, how to get in touch with you.
Sure, but before that, I will say one thing.
Sure.
If you go to our website, which is atlas-ventures.net, we don't use stock pictures on our website. That's our actual website contact center you will see on the website.
Yes.
And I invite my new clients and existing clients to go with us to the Philippines and meet the agents that will take the call for them.
Right.
If you need to reach me at any given time, my number is 804-245-0377.
Do it one more time.
804-245-0377.
This is an extraordinary opportunity. I love talking to Rumy and get him in the office. His time is valuable, but he took the time to come do a podcast on sharing with the BBB office. And again, we're broadcasting at the Ignite Sparked by BBB Center, and we have room rentals. As I just showed Rumy, you can rent a few chairs, a desk for an hour. If you're working from home, this is the safe place you can meet people. And the other thing, look out for our direct conversations we're going to be offering our community. Thank you, Rumy.
Thank you, Barry.